dialogue with various political parties, including BNP and Jamaat, saying there has been no rift in the unity among students and mass people since August 5, while political parties pledged to remain united on the issues of independence and sovereignty.
ঐক্যবদ্ধভাবে আমরা শত্রুর মোকাবেলা করেছি। আমাদের ছাত্র জনতা বুক পেতে দিয়েছিল, জীবন দিয়েছিল। সেই ঐক্যের কোথাও কোনো চির ধরে নাই, কোনো ফাটল ধরে নাই।
Foreign Secretary level meeting between Bangladesh and India to take place in Dhaka in December. Bilateral issues including extradition of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina expected to be discussed in the meeting. Regardless of whatever happens politically with India, there will be no impact on trade relations between the two countries, says Finance Advisor Saliuddin Ahmed. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir urges all political parties to stand united over the country's independence and sovereignty. Leaders of Bangladesh Puja Celebration Front call for resisting those who seek to disrupt communal harmony, saying there is no minority in Bangladesh as everyone's identity here is Bangladeshi. Meeting between Election Commission and Electoral Reform Commission held with Bodiul Alam Mojumdar, saying those who committed crimes in past elections will be brought to justice. South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol facing impeachment as martial law lifted within 24 hours. And Bangladesh end 15-year drought in the Caribbean with a resounding 101-run victory over West Indies in Kingston Test. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to News at 10 on BTV. I am Roya Zabin. You have just heard the headlines, now news in details. Chief Advisor of the interim government, Professor Mohammad Yunus, has said that an attempt is being made to create an imaginary Bangladesh before the world to destroy the unity of the people. However, he made it clear that there is no crack in the unity with which the students and people faced the enemy on August 5. There is no reason to think that the people of Bangladesh are weak. They are still vigilant, united, he added. The chief advisor said this at a dialogue with the leaders of different political parties, including BNP Jamaat, at the Foreign Service Academy in the capital this afternoon. The leaders of the political parties participating in the dialogue promised to remain united on the question of independence and sovereignty of the country. Professor Yunus said that the stone has been removed from the chest of the people through the movement of the students and people. That is why Bangladesh is free and independent today. A group wants to foil the coup and take Bangladesh back to its previous position. The chief advisor said no force can snatch the independence and sovereignty of Bangladesh. The people of Bangladesh are united and will remain united in the future.
অগাস্টের 5 তারিখে যে উত্তেজনা এবং যেই শক্তি নিয়ে যেই ঐক্যবদ্ধভাবে আমরা শত্রুর মোকাবেলা করেছি, আমাদের ছাত্র জনতা বুক পেতে দিয়েছিল, জীবন দিয়েছিল, সেই ঐক্যের কোথাও কোনো চির ধরে নাই, কোনো ফাটল ধরে নাই। আমরা কোনো দুর্বলতার থেকে এখানে আসিনি। আমরা এখনো সেই জাতি, যেই জাতি 5ই আগস্ট থেকে আমরা যাত্রা করেছিলাম স্বৈরাচারী সরকারকে বিদায় দিয়ে, সেই জাতি এখনো সেই সজাগ আছে, সে মজবুত আছে। সে মজবুত জিনিসটা দুনিয়ার সামনে তুলে ধরা। তারা যেন মনে করছে যে এর বোধহয় ঠান্ডা হয়ে গেছে। ঠান্ডা আমরা হই নাই, আমরা সেই সতেজ। সেই জাতি মরে নাই, দুর্বল হয় নাই, সবল আছে। যে যত ষড়যন্ত্র করুক, যত প্রচার করুক, যত কিছুই করুক, আমাদের থেকে এটা ছিনিয়ে নিতে পারবে না। আমরা সেই শক্তিমান জাতি, আমরা লড়াই করব। যেভাবে আপনারা এই 5ই আগস্টের পর থেকে একত্র হয়ে চলেছেন, সেই একতা এখনো ঐক্য, সেই মজবুত ঐক্য রয়ে গেছে এবং থাকবে। সেটা আমরা জনগণকে জানিয়ে দিলাম আজকে। কেউ আমাদের ঐক্য ছিনিয়ে নিতে পারবে না, কেউ আমাদের স্বাধীনতা থেকে আমাদেরকে বঞ্চিত করতে পারবে না।
Advisor Adilur Rahman Khan conducted the program. Among others, advisor Dr. Asif Nazrul and Mahfuz Alam took part in the discussion. Briefing reporters after the dialogue, law advisor Dr. Asif Nazrul said the key message of the meeting is that the political parties will remain united for the sake of the country's interest, its sovereignty and existence. We will never deviate from this. He said there is no reason to think Bangladesh as powerless, weak and submissive, and Bangladesh will remain united against any propaganda.
বাংলাদেশের সার্বভৌমত্ব, অস্তিত্ব, স্বাধীনতা এবং মর্যাদা রক্ষার প্রশ্নে সবাই ঐক্যবদ্ধ থাকার ঘোষণা দিয়েছেন এবং ঐক্যমত জানিয়েছেন। ভারতে যে বাংলাদেশ বিরোধী বিভিন্ন তৎপরতা চলছে, বাংলাদেশের উপ হাই কমিশনে হামলা, বাংলাদেশ বিরোধী প্রচারণা, বাংলাদেশের অভ্যন্তরীণ ব্যাপারে হস্তক্ষেপ, এসবের তীব্র নিন্দা জানানো হয়েছে এবং ভারতের এই সমস্ত পদক্ষেপের বিরুদ্ধে বর্তমান সরকারের যে আত্মমর্যাদাশীল এবং সাহসী ভূমিকা তার প্রশংসা করা হয়েছে এবং সরকারের সাথে সলিডারিটি প্রকাশ করা হয়েছে। তবে একই সাথে ভারতের এই সমস্ত প্রচারণার বিরুদ্ধে সরকারকে আরও শক্তিশালীভাবে, আরও বেগবানভাবে এটাকে অ্যাড্রেস করার কথা বলা হয়েছে। ভারত বাংলাদেশ বিরোধী যে বিভিন্ন প্রচারণা চালাচ্ছে, এই পরিস্থিতি মোকাবেলায় সকল সম্প্রদায়ের মানুষের ভূমিকার প্রশংসা করা হয়েছে এবং সাম্প্রদায়িক সম্প্রীতি যে কোনো উস্কানির মুখে অটুট রাখার প্রত্যয় ব্যক্ত করা হয়েছে। আমাদেরকে আর শক্তিহীন, দুর্বল, নতজানু ভাবার কোনো রকম কোনো অবকাশ নাই। যে কোনো ধরনের অপপ্রচারণা এবং উস্কানির বিরুদ্ধে আমরা ঐক্যবদ্ধ থাকব এবং আমরা আমাদের ঐক্য অটুট রাখব, আমরা সাহসী থাকব এবং আমরা ভবিষ্যতেও যে কোনো ধরনের প্রচারণা আসলে, যে কোনো ধরনের উস্কানি আসলে আমরা আমাদের ঐক্যকে আরও বেগবান দেখানোর একটা প্রচেষ্টা অব্যাহত রাখব।
Chief Justice Syed Rifat Ahmed paid a courtesy call on Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus at the State Guest House in Dhaka today. They spoke for about an hour. It was the first one-to-one meeting between the Chief Advisor and the Chief Justice since the interim government took over. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus said that the world is going through a difficult time and Bangladesh is not out of it. Therefore, he called for unity more than ever before. The Chief Advisor made the call while addressing the graduation ceremony of the National Defence Corps NDC and Armed Forces War Corps 2024 at the Command and Staff College Complex of the Defence Services at Mirpur Cantonment today. The Chief Advisor congratulated all the participants for successful completion of the courses. The Chief Advisor expressed satisfaction over the inclusion of various important issues of the state in the high-quality curriculum of NDC to ensure national security.
Globally, we are at strategically critical times, and Bangladesh is no exception to that. Ramifications of our actions will have far-reaching consequences in near and far future. We must continue to remain steadfast in our resolve. It is only the people of a nation that can decide on the destiny of their nation. To try, we need to be together more than ever before. Global challenges do not belong to any one nation alone. They need multilateral efforts to overcome. The global problem solving must therefore rely on cooperation, not conflict. I wish that year-long interaction in NDC has added great value to your understanding of the need for a collaborative approach in all our national problems. I also hope that the friends that you have made during this occasion shall enable you to have better perspective about problems that you will solve in future.
National Defence College Commandant Lieutenant General Mohammad Shahinul Haq also spoke on the occasion. Later, Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus distributed certificates among the successful participants of the course. This year, 95 participants took part in the National Defence Course involving 46 members of Bangladesh Armed Forces, 16 members of civil administration and 33 members of 18 countries. Besides, 55 course members from Bangladesh Army, Navy and Air Force successfully completed the Armed Forces War Course 2024. Foreign Advisor Mohammad Tauhid Hussain said the scheduled Foreign Secretary level Foreign Office consultation FOC between Bangladesh and India will take place in Dhaka on December 9 or 10. He said this while talking to reporters at the Foreign Ministry this afternoon. However, the foreign advisor emphasized that relations between Bangladesh and India must be built on a reciprocal basis. Both sides need to want that and should work for it, he added. Tauhid mentioned that while the FOC is scheduled for December 10, it might be held a day earlier on December 9. During the high-level consultation, Bangladesh Foreign Secretary Mohammad Joshimuddin and Indian Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri will lead their respective delegations. The discussions are expected to cover a range of bilateral issues, including the potential extradition of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, currently in India, and visa-related matters. Chief Advisor of the Electoral Reform Commission, Bodiul Alam Mojumdar, has said those who were involved in crimes during the last 3 parliament elections must be brought to book. He said this after exchanging views with Chief Election Commissioner AMM Nasiruddin and election commissioners at Election Commission Bhavan today. Bodiul Alam Mojumdar further said that there were various crimes during the previous elections. Speaking on the occasion, Election Commissioner retired Brigadier General Abul Fazal Mohammad Sanaullah stated that there is a lack of confidence over the electoral system. Efforts are on to bring back the confidence, he added. Finance advisor Dr. Saliuddin Ahmed said whatever happens politically with India, the commercial relationship between the two countries will not be affected. He made the remarks after attending the meeting of Advisory Council Committee on Government Purchase at Bangladesh Secretariat today. The finance advisor said that a decision has been taken to import rice, lentils and soybean oil. Bangladesh will procure from India, Myanmar and Vietnam, where goods are available at low prices. Mentioning that the market situation will be normal during upcoming Ramadan, the advisor said the import of other products, including dates, has already started. Textile and jute advisor Sheikh Bashiruddin said the country's economy is suffering from the consequences of corruption in the banking sector under the fascist Awami League government. He made the comment while addressing a seminar titled Brief Overview of Bangladesh's Textile Sector, Problems, Potential and Innovations, organized by the Ministry at Jute Diversification Center in the capital today. Secretary of the Ministry of Textiles and Jute, Mohammad Abdul Rauf, presided over the seminar arranged on the occasion of National Textile Day 2024. The industry's advisor called upon all to increase use of solar energy in business establishments as it is most cost-effective and accessible than gas in the industrial sector. Advisor Mahfuz Alam sought the support of the United Kingdom to bring back the laundered money from the UK and run the economy that was left in fragile condition by the past autocratic regime. He said this when the British High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Sarah Cook, called on him at his office at Tejgaon in Dhaka today. Mahfuz Alam explained to the High Commissioner the efforts of the government to create a national consensus on various issues, including the election process. High Commissioner Sarah Cook highlighted the challenge ahead of the interim government and the UK's support to the interim government's work to create a pathway to an inclusive democratic future in Bangladesh. The International Crimes Tribunal issued order to send Awami League leaders Amir Hossain Ammu and Kamrul Islam to jail, showing them arrested in the case filed on charges of July-August mass killings. Amir Hossain Ammu is the coordinator of the 14-party alliance. The 3-member tribunal led by Justice Muhammad Ghulam Murtaza gave the order today. The court fixed December 18 for the next hearing and submission of advanced report. After hearing, prosecutor of the tribunal, Ghazi M.H. Tamim, briefed journalists. Earlier in the morning, former ministers Amir Hossain Ammu and Kamrul Islam were produced before the International Crimes Tribunal. BNP acting chairman Tariq Rahman has said the party is not dependent on India like Awami League. BNP wants to run the country with people's support, he added. Tariq Rahman said this at a divisional workshop on 31-point demands of BNP for state reform today. The BNP acting chairman joined the program virtually. Leaders and activists of BNP and associate bodies and representatives from professional organizations of 10 organizational districts participated at the workshop. The BNP acting chairman gave various guidelines to the party leaders and workers who took part in the workshop. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir called upon all political parties of the country to be united over the issue of Bangladesh's independence and sovereignty. He made the call at a gathering in London on Tuesday organized by the UK BNP chapter. Mirza Fakhrul Islam said India is behaving negatively towards Bangladesh. He questioned the friendship of India and its attitudes as a neighbor. Application fee for all government services, including BCS, has been fixed at minimum Taka 200. The decision came at a secretarial committee meeting on administrative development held at the Secretariat today. The meeting also decided that the applicants from the disabled community appearing in the BCS exam would not have to pay extra other than the fixed fee. After the meeting, Senior Secretary of Public Administration Ministry Mokhlisur Rahman also informed newsmen that Gazette notification will be issued soon to reduce the number of BCS Viva exam to 100 from 200. Now, international news. South Korean lawmakers have called on President Yoon Suk Yeol to resign or face impeachment after he declared martial law, only to reverse the move hours later, triggering a political crisis in Asia's fourth largest economy. The surprise declaration late on Tuesday ignited a standoff with Parliament, which rejected his attempt to ban political activity and censor the media as armed troops forced their way into the National Assembly building in Seoul. The main opposition Democratic Party called for Yoon, who has been in office since 2022, to resign or face impeachment. 6 South Korean opposition parties said they would submit Yoon's impeachment bill on Wednesday, the Democratic Party said in a message to reporters, with voting to take place on Friday or Saturday. At least 36 more Palestinians were killed in relentless Israeli attacks in the Gaza Strip over the last 24 hours, bringing the overall death toll since last year to 44,502. A health ministry statement added that some 105,454 others have been injured in the ongoing assault. Many people are still trapped under the rubble and on the roads, with rescuers unable to reach them, it added. The Israeli army has continued a genocidal war on the Gaza Strip since a Hamas attack on October 7, 2023, despite a UN Security Council resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire. International recognition of the Gaza genocide has grown in the second year of the deadly Israeli war, as organizations and leaders have labeled the events a deliberate attempt to destroy the population. President Joe Biden on Tuesday announced more than $1 billion in humanitarian assistance to Africa during a visit to Angola, where the United States is showcasing a major infrastructure project aimed at countering China's investments on the continent. Biden, the first U.S. president to visit the former Portuguese colony, met with his Angolan counterpart João Lourenço earlier in the day and was scheduled to visit the port of Lobito on Wednesday for an infrastructure summit. A statement from the U.S. Agency for International Development said this assistance will address food insecurity and other urgent needs of refugees internally displaced persons and affected communities in 31 African countries. Southern Africa is currently facing the worst drought ever recorded across the region. China has banned exports to the United States of the critical minerals gallium, germanium and antimony that have widespread military applications, escalating trade tensions the day after Washington's latest crackdown on China's chip sector. The curbs strengthen enforcement of existing limits on critical mineral exports that Beijing began rolling out last year, but apply only to the U.S. market in the latest escalation of trade tensions between the world's two largest economies ahead of the President-elect Donald Trump taking office next month. Gallium and germanium are used in semiconductors, while germanium is also used in infrared technology, fiber optic cables and solar cells. Antimony is used in bullets and other weaponry, while graphite is the largest component by volume of electric vehicle batteries. Nepal and China yesterday signed a 9-point agreement as Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli met President Xi Jinping in Beijing when the two leaders discussed connectivity, industrial development, infrastructural development and trade and tourism, among other issues. Earlier, Mr. Oli, who is on a 4-day official visit, held a bilateral meeting with his Chinese counterpart Li Qiang in Beijing. Agreements that were signed include an exchange of letters regarding the construction of the Tokha-Chahari Tunnel Road near Kathmandu, an MOU on Nepal-China trade promotion, and an exchange of certificates of completion of the renovation of the historic 9-story palace situated in Basantapur in Kathmandu. MOUs were also signed on protocol relating to the export of thermally processed buffalo meat to China, on development and construction works, on economic and technical assistance, on Chinese language education, and on cooperation in the communication technology between Nepal Television and China Media Group. Prime Minister Oli is on a 4-day official visit to China starting Sunday. He will return home tomorrow. Back to national news. The 61st death anniversary of the champion of democracy and one of the greatest leaders of undivided India, Hussain Shohid Sohrawardi, will be observed tomorrow. In a message on the occasion, President Mohammad Shahabuddin paid rich tributes to Hussain Shohid Sohrawardi. In his message, the President said Hussain Shohid Sohrawardi is a shining star in the history of politics and democracy in the subcontinent. Sohrawardi, the son of democracy, was a talented politician, jurist, member of Bongyo Babusthapok Sabha and Gonoporishad, Chief Minister of Undivided Bengal and the then Prime Minister of Pakistan, he added. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus also paid rich tributes to Hussain Shohid Sohrawardi. In a message on the eve of the day, Professor Mohammad Yunus said that Sohrawardi fought his whole life for the socio-economic development and political rights of the working people of this subcontinent. Hussain Shohid Sohrawardi was a liberal and wise political figure, a far-sighted statesman and a pioneer of non-communal consciousness, said Professor Yunus. None in the country is known as minority. All are Bangladeshis. Those who want to destroy this harmony should be resisted strictly. Noted citizens of the country made the remarks at a gathering in front of the Jatiyo Press Club today, protesting the attack on Bangladesh's Assistant High Commission in India's Agartala. Bangladesh Puja Ujjapon Front organized it. President of the organization, Aparna Roy Das, presided over the gathering. Central leaders of the BNP, including Senior Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi, spoke. Rizvi said people of the entire country are now vigilant to protect Bangladesh's sovereignty and free the country from the slavery of Delhi. Any effort to destroy the sacrifice of 2024 for democracy will be resisted, he added. Later, a protest rally was brought out which ended at BNP's central office. The High Court today allowed a plea filed for the family of Abdul Haris Chaudhry, political advisor to former Prime Minister Begum Khaleda Zia, to bury his remains in a graveyard of their choice. A High Court division bench of Justice Fahmida Qadir and Justice Mubina Asif passed the order as the Criminal Investigation Department submitted its report before the court, confirming that the remains exhumed from a grave in Savar, identified as Mahmudur Rahman, has matched the DNA of the family members of BNP leader Haris Chaudhry. Following the court's order, CID exhumed the remains of the grave on October 16 and cross-checked its DNA with the family members of Haris Chaudhry, whose result recently came positive. Now news on sports. Bangladesh have completed an impressive comeback to beat West Indies in the second test by 101 runs and record their first win in the Caribbean since 2009. The Bangladeshis had lost their last 7 tests in the Caribbean, including the first one of the series in Antigua last week. They have tied the 2-match series by 1-1. The Tigers set a victory target of 287 runs for West Indies. The Caribbeans managed to bat less than 2 sessions and were all out for 185 runs in their second innings. Spinner Tajul Islam snort 5 wickets for the 15th time in a test innings to lead Bangladesh at Sabina Park, Jamaica. Seamers Taskin Ahmed and Hassan Mahmood bagged 2 wickets each for Bangladesh. Earlier, Zakir Ali's test best innings of 91 runs lifted the tourists to 268 all out in their second innings. West Indies were all out on 146 runs in reply to Bangladesh's 164 runs in their first innings. Fast bowler Nahid Rana, whose maiden 5-wicket haul in the first innings pulled Bangladesh back to contention, had the satisfaction of administering the final rites. Tajul Islam was a judge man of the match. Taskin Ahmed and Jayden Seals were a judge player of the series jointly. Before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Chief Advisor holds dialogue with various political parties, including BNP and Jamaat, saying there has been no rift in the unity among students and mass people since August 5, while political parties pledged to remain united on the issues of independence and sovereignty. Foreign Secretary-level meeting between Bangladesh and India to take place in Dhaka in December. Bilateral issues including extradition of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina expected to be discussed in the meeting. Regardless of whatever happens politically with India, there will be no impact on trade relations between the two countries, says Finance Advisor Saliuddin Ahmed. BNP Secretary-General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir urges all political parties to stand united over the country's independence and sovereignty. Leaders of Bangladesh Puja Celebration Front call for resisting those who seek to disrupt communal harmony, saying there is no minority in Bangladesh as everyone's identity here is Bangladeshi. Meeting between Election Commission and Electoral Reform Commission held with Bodiul Alam Mojumdar, saying those who committed crimes in the past elections will be brought to justice. South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol facing impeachment as martial law lifted within 24 hours. And Bangladesh end 15-year drought in the Caribbean with a resounding 101-run victory over West Indies in Kingston Test. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us. We invite you to watch our 11:30 Bangla News. Until then, Allah Hafiz.